Hello, Longhorn families. This is Athletic Director Derek Burns. I'm going to give a presentation about some information for our upcoming season that has to do with our general athletic policies and procedures. First up, we have our AMS Athletics Resource Guide. This is a guide that you can pick up in our office at AMS, but it is something that you could put on your fridge and scan the different QR codes to gain information about our department. Things from athletic schedules to our website, all the way through our social media pages. One of the items on there is our 23-24 athletic schedule. This can also be picked up as a hard copy in our AMS Athletic office. This gives our schedules for the year. Something new we've tried this year, and it's went really well, and we're going to do it for this upcoming season, is Meet the Coaches Nights. The goal of this night is for you to essentially meet your coaches that will be coaching your child this upcoming season, but also for you to share any concerns or information you have with them personally as you get started with the season. It also is a chance where it's about a 20 to 30-minute session you'll spend with them to gain information about the upcoming season. So you're going to get the practice schedules, the game schedules, and things that are pertinent for your season. This presentation would be my portion. We've taken that out so you can view this on your own schedule to make these nights go a little bit quicker for you. So that upcoming Meet the Coaches night is this Monday, December 11th at 6 p.m. So we hope that we see you there. One of the most important things that I want to share with you is about our Longhorn culture and vision. This is something that we started this year. I sat down with our coaches and we really went over this last April. And this is something that's very important to us as we move forward. We want to set that culture about what our program is all about and some of the core values that we're all about as well as we coach your child through not only this year but into the future. So our main mission is to provide opportunities for student athletes while developing skills and focusing on that instruction. And our main vision is to provide those opportunities while we also develop your child into an athlete and then also retain them. That's important to us. So when they go across the parking lot to AHS, that they're still participating in athletics. Our core values, these are the three values that encompass everything we do and instill what we want in our athletes. The first one is commitment. That's commitment to their team, commitment to themselves, commitment to the program, showing up every day to practice, being committed, doing whatever they can with the role on their team. The next one is effort. We want to give great effort because we know if we have great effort, then good things are going to happen and we're going to put ourselves in successful opportunities. And then we want teamwork. We want to really focus on how we mesh together as a team and how we lean on our team and also encourage our teammates. So those are the three core values that we really want to focus on. Along with that is our vertical alignment. And when I say vertical alignment, we want to be consistent as much as possible from third grade all the way through 12th grade. So our coaches will do a great job. One of the emphasis I have for them is to communicate with our youth coaches, communicate with our high school coaches, and make sure we're on the same page as much as possible. And I'll share some of that in the next slide. And all this is going to contribute to a more positive culture, and we need your help as well from a parent aspect with that same culture. Vertical alignment, this is something that's very important. Like I said, 3rd through 12th grade, we want to have great communication between our coaches. The better our communication is, the better we're going to produce athletes and the more continuity we're going to have. Our philosophy and terminology needs to be consistent. It's important that our terminology is consistent so when we transition from youth to middle school, from middle school to high school, that kids understand and it's an easy transition. They're using similar terminology that they used. And then one thing I talk to all of our middle school coaches is we're all assistant coaches. We need to put our ego aside. Our end goal is at high school level. We need to develop athletes so we can get to that highest level at the high school and be really successful. So we want to keep that in mind as we go through these middle school years as well. How can you help with the Abilene culture? Well, I think this is a great quote over here to the side. All it takes is one negative comment in the car or at the dinner table to plant a seed in your kid's head that they don't have to listen to their coach. And from there, the kid can become uncoachable, a bad teammate, or both. It doesn't take much to sabotage a team's chemistry. And that is so true. So we need your help at home to, if you have some negative thoughts, please don't say those around your kids. We don't want that spilling over into our locker room and creating a negative culture. We need to all come together as Abilene and take pride in that and really push. Our coaches give a lot of great effort into trying to produce great outcomes for your kids. So please help us support that. Athlete paperwork, this doesn't change. This is what you need, or your child needs to be able to participate in practice. They need a sports physical, rules consent form. That's part of the physical packet. Concussion release form. They've watched the concussion video. If they've done all of that after May 1st of last May, then they are good to go. So they'll need that in order to practice and participate. Concussion information, if your child has been diagnosed with a concussion, they may not, or we even think that they may have a concussion. Our coaches are trained if they see symptoms that they have to sit them out immediately and they may not return until they have been cleared by a doctor. So that's very important. If you see a child who may have had some symptoms and you see your child go to the bench, then you know that we're taking precautionary measures, and that's something that we must do. Then they will wait and they won't be able to play that game until they're fully cleared moving forward. Once they're cleared, they may have to go through a protocol. That's up to the doctor if they deem that there was a concussion. That protocol will be 4 to 5 days of activities that can be signed off by that coach only. Will not be able to be signed off by PE teachers, outside coaches, parents, and it must be during practice time because we need to emulate that practice and what that game looks like. So if that's the case, the coach will communicate with you as well as our school nurse. Our eligibility policy, we go by quarters. Our seasons are by quarters, so you must pass 5 courses in a quarter in order to be eligible for the next quarter. So as we finish quarter 2 here, going into semester, your child must pass 5 courses in order to be eligible for this season. So December 21st, when we end this semester, I will check grades. If they're not passing, then they will not be able to participate in the third quarter. Grade checks are given to me or are sent out by me each Monday morning to our coaches. If your child's ineligible, they may practice, but they may not compete. That is based on the grade checks, and I'll go over the eligibility protocol next. We give a grace period of 2 weeks to start the season, so we won't have the first check until Monday, the 15th of February, because it's important we build up some points in our classes to provide a little cushion there. Our protocol is pretty simple. If your child has 2 Fs or more, then they enter this protocol. When I run the report on Monday, if they have 2 Fs, doesn't matter what class it is, then they enter step 1. Step 1 is they are on probation. They have a week to figure it out. If they figure it out before I run the report the following Monday, then they're off of the eligibility protocol. If they don't, then they're on step 2 that second Monday if they have any combination of 2 Fs. That step 2 means they can practice, but they will not be able to compete for that week. If we get to step 3, which is the third Monday, then that means they need to turn in all of their items, their equipment, and they need to be finished and focus on academics. Now, if they bump themselves off of this protocol at any point in time because their grades have improved, then it starts over. And our seasons are short enough where this really doesn't come into effect the second time through very often. If they ever have 3 Fs, when I run the report, 3 Fs or more, they're automatically ineligible for that week, as that is a KSHA policy, Kansas State High School Activity Association. Insurance. We don't carry insurance on your child. However, all 7th and 8th graders are covered by catastrophic insurance through KSHA, and there'll be some different items that will cover too that I'll get to here in a little bit. Emergency action plan, we take Safety is our number one priority, and we take that very seriously. We do go over our plans with our coaches, and we have an emergency action plan as a district on what we go through and a protocol that takes place in every building. This is district wide, and we do practice it. This includes responses for injuries, weather, and emergencies. So please know that we are taking strides to make sure your child is safe within our program. Transportation and away games. This is one of the transportation is covered by Acacia Catastrophic. If you take your child home, they will not be covered by Acacia Catastrophic during that ride home, but while they're on a school bus, they will. Coaches will have their own policies on ride and bus home, so make sure that you come to the meeting Monday and listen to those policies. If you want to bring your athlete home after the game, you must sign out with the coaches. If you want your child to ride home with somebody else, as parents, then you need to contact me in the office via email, or you can call and email myself and the coach, so we are both aware. On game days, the school or the athlete must be in school by 12 o'clock in order to be eligible for practice or competition that day. If it's 12:01, then they will not be able to compete or go to practice that afternoon unless it's something that's been cleared by me. So if you have a question, please get in touch with me and I can help you with that. Sportsmanship, respect. This is very important. We want to carry ourselves as Abilene fans and spectators and our athletes and take pride in who we are. And we want others to feel the same way. When we have a negative experience with a fan or a spectator, then that taints a town or taints a community, and we want to make sure that that's not the case with us. So we want to carry ourselves appropriately. We want to model that behavior for our kids and our community, and doing so by respecting our officials. It's important that we respect officials, especially at our level at the middle school. A lot of officials are just starting. And also, this is a major shortage that we're going through. It is very difficult to find officials. So I need your help to help us support them and give them a great experience when they're at AMS and on the road as well. If you are ejected during any game or asked to leave, then you will sit out of the next contest with no appeal. And it doesn't matter what level. So it could be the next high school game, could be the next middle school game you attend. That would be one of the games you would sit out. Chain of command, this is very important. If you have a concern, now is the time for your child to learn how to handle it. So this is the proper chain of command, and we ask that you follow it. If you call up to the school or if you contact me and you ask to speak to me, my first conversation or my first question to you is going to be, have you talked to the child's coach, or have you had your child talk to the coach? So please follow this chain of command. First, it's the athlete or child communicates with the coach. This is a great life skill. If they're having issues, please have them communicate it. It's the same if they have an issue with their boss down the road or an issue with a customer that they're serving. They need to make sure that they're able to address it. So we want to practice those skills now. Second, if it's not handled at that point in time, then the parent communicates with the coach, sets up a meeting, and talks to them. If it's not handled at that time, then third, the parent and athlete sets up a meeting with the coach and myself. If we haven't handled it at that time, then we move to that next threshold of the principal, then superintendent, and then board of education. Usually it's handled in step 1 or 2, but we really encourage you to make sure you work on step 1 with your child if they have a concern. 24-hour rule, we ask that you let 24 hours pass before you discuss any concerns. Just give yourself and your child time to contemplate those and think about those and kind of cool down before we have those discussions. That creates the best atmosphere for having a productive conversation. Social media, we have our 3 pages. We have our Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. I'll keep updated with scores, information pertinent to the seasons on those pages. Really encourage you to check those out if you haven't already. Sports U is what we use all of our communication with, from our coaches to you. This is an app that we use actually all the way from youth programs with our athletics academy all the way through our varsity programs. So download this app. Our coaches will go over it specifically on Monday for their season. Many of you have already joined our teams, and we appreciate that, but that's how they will communicate. One of the emphasis I have for this year is coaches are only going to post on there. We don't need a post from a parent. It's not like Facebook. It needs to be really one-way communication where the coach posts. Parents and athletes, if you have questions, that's where the side message is. So send the coach a side message where it's just between you and them. And if it's something that needs to be posted, the coach will post it at that time. So I appreciate your help with that. Sports U accounts. Here's all of our accounts. Those also can be picked up in the office through a handout. But take a look at those, especially with the upcoming seasons if you're not on there. Fort Riley, you are lucky and don't have to worry about Fort Riley for this season. Boys basketball and girls wrestling, we will not compete at Fort Riley, so we don't have to worry about the Fort Riley Day Pass with your season. Game admission, nothing changes here. $4 for adults, $2 for students for our game admission at our place, but also at all NCKL venues, all within our league. Now, outside our league, that price might change. We'll try to provide that information via Sports U before every event. But our students are also free at AMS, so please encourage them to attend our events. Team Pictures Media Days. Jacob Engel and our AMP, Abilene Middle Media Productions crew, does a great job of handling all of this. They will post these on Sports U about our upcoming media days and also about pictures. So make sure you stay up to date with that. He does a great job with his class of providing media at our games, and we're excited about the enhancements that he has in store for this upcoming season. So we encourage you to reach out to him if you have questions regarding that. Tryouts. We will move forward with tryouts for basketball, specifically. Wrestling, obviously, we don't have tryouts there, but for basketball, we do. We do have a high number of basketball players, especially for our 7th grade group this year. So this is all part of learning the evaluation process as well as a 7th and 8th grader. We will not have a set number. We'll look explicitly at what the break is on the evaluation. And where that natural break is where we will stay with the number on our team. On the final day, which is next Friday, the athlete will receive a sealed envelope. They need to wait until they're in the car and take it home, and they need to open it there. And they need to have the weekend to register that. If they did not make the team, we ask that if they have questions, they reach out to the coach, but do it in a productive manner and make sure that we've passed that 24-hour rule. Coach will provide them opportunities of ideas on how they can get better. And this isn't the end of the road. We want them to continue to improve if they want to participate in the future. All athletes and parents must sign the tryout waiver form prior to tryouts. So if they have not turned those in, they need to get those in ASAP. Live streaming. We'll continue to live stream all of our home athletic events. It'll be on our Abilene5starstudios.com site. That's also on our resource guide. This is a great opportunity if you can't make a game to catch it on our live streaming. I want to thank you for your time and thank you for having your child participate in AMS Athletics. We hope they have a great and positive, successful season and learn a lot, develop, and learn some of those core values along the way. If you ever have any questions, please get in touch with me or the coaches, and we'd be glad to help you answer those. So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday night.